we've had a little bit of overnight rain, but a mixture of cloud, sunshine and showers are forecast, but it's glorious at the moment. We're at Brandon Marsh in Warwickshire today. This reserve is run by the Warwickshire Wildlife Trust. It's a mixture of reed bed, marsh, grassland and mature woodland, and there are several large areas of water created by gravel extraction. The reserve stretches over 220 acres and it's actually the headquarters of Warwickshire Wildlife Trust. There's a visitor centre here which includes a well-stocked shop and also Badger's tea room. As you leave the visitor centre and enter the reserve, there's an education centre and an open courtyard where you can sit. As you leave the courtyard there's a wildflower garden which attracts myriad insects. There's also a sensory garden which was opened in 2012. It's an excellent reserve and it's hard to believe that the busy city of Coventry is only a stone's throw away. Well, there's plenty of wildflowers to be enjoyed today. I'm not particularly good at identifying wildflowers. I suppose I ought to take a little bit of time and gen up on them a little bit. This is ragwort, it's poisonous to livestock. This is red campion. I think common spotted orchid. Not too sure about this one. This is great willow herb. And this is rose bay willow herb. In the last Frampton Marsh film I mistakenly described this as purple loosestrife, but this is actually purple loosestrife. Well, we visited 6 of the hides here today, and this is a brand new hide just been built and it already has an occupant. Well, here's what we saw from the hides today. Cormorant. Filmed lots of cormorants before, but this particular one was fishing and it dived under and eventually came up with a fish. And I've filmed lots of cormorants before, but it's not very often you actually see one come up with a fish. I think I've only filmed it once before. I'm not a fisherman, but I noticed the fish has got red fins, and the roach has got red fins, so I presume it's a roach. I presume it keeps dipping it in the water like that for lubrication for when it swallows it whole. Bird of prey wise, we've got these very fleeting glimpses of this hobby whizzing through the sky as it hunts for its prey. It's an incredibly fast, agile bird, and as you can see from the still I grabbed from the film, it looks like a futuristic jet fighter. Other birds of prey we saw were buzzards and this kestrel. Well, there's normally plenty of lapwing here, and today is no exception. There's quite a large flock here, or the deceit of lapwing. There's quite a few sand martins here. They should be hanging around for a few months yet. They should head south again in October. Also moorhen on view, and quite a few with youngsters. All the butterflies here today were very active and didn't settle, so I didn't get any footage of those, but I did manage to get this shot of this satin wave moth. And when the sun came out there were plenty of dragonflies on view, mainly migrant hawkers and emperors. One of the highlights of the day was good views of this bird, a green sandpiper. I've got decent footage of them here before, but it's always good to see them. They can be seen in the UK between July and March, and around about 910 birds winter here. The green in the name doesn't refer to the plumage, it refers to the colour of their legs, which are green. There's a few common terns here today. We've got a pair here perching sentinel next to a floating nest island, and closer inspection of the floating island revealed this little tern chick. Also got decent views of this female tufted duck, and she had a couple of youngsters on view. We didn't see many smaller birds today. Did get this footage of this whitethroat singing on the top of this bush. Whitethroat have an amber status with the RSPB, and you can see them in the UK between mid-April and early October. Well, it must be at least 3 years since we got any decent kingfisher footage here at Brandon Marsh, and we hoped that was going to change today, and after waiting patiently in one of the hides we did actually get to see a kingfisher, and as you can see by this slow motion footage it was hovering, and that's something I haven't witnessed before. We had several tantalising glimpses of the bird as it darted to and fro across this pool, but eventually it alighted on this perch, affording us excellent views. I think I've mentioned before that the kingfisher's beautiful turquoise blue feathers are not actually blue. There's no blue pigment in them at all. The feathers are actually a murky brown colour. And this could be demonstrated in this shot because the bird is slightly backlit. The feathers look a very dark brown, almost black. The blue colour is a result of structural coloration and the makeup of the feathers and the way they scatter blue light. The process is called the Tyndall effect. So there you go, beautiful male kingfisher, and that's our best view of a kingfisher so far this year. That's a really excellent day. I'll see you next time.